Good morning, Anambra. Nke anyị ga-anọ wee tụnye ọnụ na okwu gbara ọkpụlụkpụ nke anyị gwaburu unu maka ya bụ ihe gbasara Unity Schools nke anyị nwere na Nigeria. Isiokwu a ka ngụpụta ya n'ọnụ bekee tutu anyị tụlibia. Nigeria's Unity Schools addressing regional disparities in education. Anyị bịa n'anya ọtụtụ oge Nigeria na-enwe ọmalịcha atụmatụ a na-ewepụta mana a na-agazi ọ dịka ya sị na ya bụ atụmatụ na ọ bụ ozi ihe ekwu ka a na-eme. Anyị ga-enebanye anya ka anyị malụ ihe kpatara o ji adị otu a wee malụ ka a ga-esi wee kwa onye ukwu wa. N'ụtụtụ a enwelu ndị ọbịa sonyegolu anyị iji wee nebanye anya n'isiokwu a. Enwelu m barrister Chris Arukwe bụ onye bekee na-akpọ Public Affairs Analyst yana Ugochi Ehiahurike, Executive Director, Social and Integral Development Center, SIDEC. Anyị na-anabata Ugochi na Chris na-asị unu nnọọ n'ihe mmemme Good Morning Anambra nke taa.
Good morning, everybody.
Ụtụtụ ọma.
Ụtụtụ ọma. Daalụ nrinne.
Ọ dị mma ịma na ọtụtụ oge anyị na-emezi sople anyị chezọ na o nwere ebe anyị si mana tata anyị ga-anata unu. Ka o wee dị ka onye ekwu ka a na-eme. Biko anyị na-anya na ya bụ isiokwu anyị wepụta. Ugochi ka m malite as ladies first. Chris ihe chere nwantịntị oke. A na-ekwu ihe gbasara Unity Schools a Ugochi. Kedu ihe ọ bụ na ihe o kwesịrị ịbụ?
Okay, daalụ ndị be anyị, daalụ n'onye. So ihe Unity School kwesịrị ịbụ school that brings together people, our students, for diverse understanding, knowledge, and also awareness, right? Because it's a federal program and a federal platform of education where you see people of different class, irrespective of their creed, irrespective of gender, irrespective of their color, coming together to acquire that basic understanding. So actually maybe isi Igbo Hausa, isi Yoruba, isi Igbo, isi Niger Delta, isi Cross River. But the point is that we come together. And don't you call it National Youth Service? Yes. People are here together with different culture, different belief system. Unity School and all these things. That's the essence. Because Mbambra's only Igbo be today Wednesday, now Igbo, Igbo. Onye Yoruba not anonymous I got show you market Bia come kedi ihe owu n'Igbo, you know, and the essence of it we emechi we ga hu BH. Even when it comes to class, some ministers, some senators, some president, some average human being, right, layman in the society, no class. When you come there and able to learn and able to integrate, there is nothing you can face tomorrow, irrespective where it's coming from. You can actually face it and address just to have that balanced understanding of life. That's an ideal setting, an ideal scenario. What's expected of every Unity School? We would look at equality, we would look at fairness, we would look at equity. Looking at
Chris, but I can imagine Imana anya Chris di ko bu anyi ụzọ wee gụcha akwụkwọ so ya ama ihe na-eme mgbe anwa na Unity Schools malụkwa nke na-eme kịta ya Chris ka igwe na anyị ka o si ka isi wee fụ Unity School mgbe anwa na otu isi afụ ya kịta.
Well, equal ọfụma. Amara m na taa bụ Wednesday nke anyị. When I gonna ask you, na school you. If I didn't, the idea of the Unity School after the war, there was very big need to bring the country together, a country that was torn by the ravages of the war. So they're looking at various options, the NYSC, the scheme that would enable Nigerians from all diversities, races, and tribes to see and understand themselves in a learning atmosphere, in a classroom, in college activities and all that, in such a manner that the North and South divide, the dichotomy there, will begin to be breached. So that was the wisdom immediately after the war. So it was actually the diversities that many people kind of think that some of these things were part of the things that led to the war. The sentiments that there was palpable marginalization by the Southerners in terms of governance of Nigeria, instruments of power, the Southerner. Because then, Ndocha believe most of the things are by merit. So the Southerners who imbibed college activities, scholarships and all that did apparently well. And they were placed in higher authorities all over the country. And the Northerners who had very small education could not fit into those kind of situations. So there's palpable anxiety that if something is not done to bridge the backwardness of the North and give a sense of belonging to the Southerners also, that it will not go well. That's the wisdom behind the creation of
Unity Schools.
Unity Schools. Besides the Unity Schools, there's this other one that we met in college. They call it transfer, where they placed some Northerners in good schools in Anambra, in the whole Igbo region. We had some classmates. I had a classmate called Suberu, later qualified as a lawyer. So those things were also done, where you now take certain pupils from Meduguri, Gumbe and all that, bring them into class to compete with the Southerners in an atmosphere where they will now try to aspire to be as good as the Southern pupils and candidates. But while we go on, that wisdom that created that Unity School, is this still being sustained? Do we still need such wisdom? Do we still need to carry?
Ọ dị mma nke a bụ ọtụtụ ajụjụ a ga-enebanye anya na ọ na-ịma na ịsụkazi bekee ka ndị be anyị na-aghọta ihe anyị na-ekwu. Anyị na-anya na ihe gbasara Unity Schools a anyị na-ekwu. Abịa ọ dịzịa ka gasị na onwe ka o si na-adazi. Wee na-ajụ ndị Igbo ya sị gị ọ bụ na Nwamgbeke amara akpụ ka ọ bụ na agụba adịrọ nkọ. Ugochi kedu ebe anyị si wee ka ebe ọ dị ka mmiri osi wee ba n'opi ụgbọgụrụ ka nsị ụta nwa jụọ ya bụ ajụjụ.
Mana asị na ebe a na-enyi ọnwa ka a na-emekwa enwe ka ndị Igbo si wee tinye na because ka anyị na-ekwu maka Unity School today ka anyị kwukwu tinyekwa na other things metụtara anyị right because na achọbaghị ịgba jamb maka ajụjụ ịjụ ma achọbaghị ịgba jamb so ọwụ na nwa nwoke chọrọ ide jamb na-eji wee na-ama atụ mana chọrọ nwa nwoke tetesi mmomi na achọrọ ịga police academy and police academy nwere ike ndị ga-efili na jamb this year ruo 12,000 mana ihe a ga-ewe finally awụrụ 500 ọ dịkwa ka this Unity School so mana eme course ndị gbagotere na police ma ihe agwa m Ugochi nwa ga-anụ asị na East wee na-ene exam ebe ahụ nwere high competition na mma na-enwe ndị dịka hawa na-aga ihe ọ maka ajụjụ jụrụ m na-enwe ndị ọ dịka edebere ya na even na this police academy ọ dị difficult for nwa traditional ruler nwa commission of police igo dia let alone nwa ordinary person maka anyị na-ekwu maka Unity School maka ha na-abụje iyi so for nwa gị qualify ya at least ọ ga na-enwe jamb ihe dịka 300 bịa kwado maka interview na interview nke ya ga-apụkwa iche maka na o si ọdịda East anya wee na-apụta yes na mmanụ na team ebe a ga-anọ mee interview mana nne ọ bụkwa ya yastik na nwa gị ji kwado ekwe n'ụdị dị iche maka na o si gene ndịda East anya ọ maka ajụjụ ịjụ I think the essence of this Unity School, I think Barrister also highlighted it for that at what I've just said, is to bring about unity. Diverse unity, you know, integrating our pupils, our students, right? Mani fugona odizike wende aka nkibe in any report one of us did that circulated on media. About 105 Unity schools. And even at 105, you check the number on our southeast. You see that federal government budget, Ministry of Education, 45% of it is to fund these 105 Unity schools. But still is not addressing the issue. Ibiana and then outside down. He got home one outside down, he got 198. Still, will be access. I think how one now one game with 300 and above. What is it called? Jimenez no mercy. Now federal universities before now, he got first leg before second leg. Oh, we can do na interview. Oh no, bro, an orator. He disqualify ya or not school na hire for the year. Makano si not that. Man, I will know na mbago we here the car 100. About 80. Who know opportunity? So I think we've not really addressed that issue, the common goal, the unity. This is about unity. If we say that we are one, both north, west, south, east, if we say that we are actually one, we don't need to disintegrate. We need to see how we can accommodate all of us. Yes, even as southeast, we are good managers wherever we find ourselves. Even when you try, during election, you try to disenfranchise us, you see us integrating. So, awuro na ya dara eme ofuma. Awukwa na ya ha kuziro mu anya ofuma. Awukwa no mu ya ha eme ofuma. Know that each policy after to address a common goal in this society, you will still see people that will still tweak that process to make it look faulty. So, umwa na agbani. So, ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu ya ogene, ekwu maka federal character. N'ihe a oke anu wa na-eke. Si ke ya otoshiruto okeke ka o mee gini ka o ruo Okafọ. Because when I went enough unity school na East anya, Enugu too. I think Imo is also two. I think Imo is one in the whole of Southeast.
Enugu too.
Enugu is one, right?
Oh, one.
Enugu is one.
Anambra way too.
Imo is one.
Okay. Anambra will up to 3.
Okay, and we need say so you see that in the whole of Imo is one. Enugu is one. But if in the north, if on the way, imagine just make apply, register, they will get admission.
Oh, the money kai gabia ni akita kai na ya na ihe gbasalonya bo disparity ana ekwu ya. Maka onwe ihe ikwu eme sime Okafọ ka esi me okeke. Onwele afa nna m zalo se eme nwata ka emele ibia obi adi amma. Owebule arukwe ihe gbasalo eme onye a iche me onye iche na onwe ike onye si na Anambra ana enwe 100 and amania admission. Onye si na mpaghara ọzọ enwe 80 enyia, onye nwe 20 enyia, abịazi onye nwe ike onye nwekwu 200 na enweta na kedu ihe a ga-akpọ nka ebe anyị kpọrọ onwe anyị one Nigeria. Kedu ihe o ga-eji na adị eme otu a?
If I didn't this topic in Nigeria, if you're not part of Ufeji Nigeria, you move forward. Statistics are the same one only boy.
Not to one year.
I can manage. The point is that if you have a quota system, a federal character, we don't need that system. Because I've been over there when I'm a minority. When they are disadvantaged. When the even in certain countries, when they are aborigine, and when aborigines na Canada, and when in Australia, and when in America. So these people have what they call affirmative actions. In the American affirmative actions, UK Equality Act. The same thing with Canada. I would say this system where they try to help to bring along some people who ordinarily farmer compete with the system.
Okay.
You see an exam that 100%. Only 90% I'm at school. I'm at this type of college. Abroad the same type of primary school come in Ike I am able to by 5 years. And I am able to by 10. So we go disadvantage. The southern part of Nigeria were advantage because far from the channel. Anyway, theory na cuisine. The south is always a better place to stay. But climate My geography, everything but science, na Kawana, the southern part of every country is a better place to stay. So a lot of things, our culture, our environment is all part of what we can produce. So even the quota system, the federal character system, there are pure, very good items on the table. As told you in every country, William, in such a way that people even who have disabilities are accommodated in the Minority Act, in such a way that you know that if you don't assist this person, he cannot go to this college. If you know that even in America, the blacks cannot go to Harvard if you don't assist them one way or the other. So if I enable things that other countries are implementing to make for equality in society, but our own is that it has been MSG up. Or because they not profit from it. Just like you say, and we're 105 colleges, of such colleges. How many are located in the south? You found out that 70% of these colleges are in the north. Most of the northern states have 3, a minimum of 3. While in the south, some states have 1, 2. Arguably, some states captured 3 by maybe Anambra. They're fortunate because they had somebody who was Minister for Education 2 times and all that, a permanent secretary who is also from here. So I know how the GTC came about and all that. So we got our own by
opportunity.
Opportunity that came. But Obrona Asina no by to see me for Nigeria, and I get with a third one. So the point is that the question I would like to now ask, the idea behind the Unity School, what they were taken, because it has been abused and continues to be abused. A system where we run an empty classroom with a budget of the Ministry of Education, gulping 45% of the entire budget. The result produced, does it match the expenditure? Because in MIFA, everything I enable, viability, feasibility. If it's not viable, must you continue? That's why they do a study, viability and feasibility study before they become.
Now, the Gika equity,
Yes, my own suggestion, like I told you earlier, that my own suggestion, Wiki Dich and Wobele. Because once something is cancerous, you need to assist, you need to like cut off some things. That Unity School is taking the center stage of the ministry. I believe that if every ministry should be at the helm, where they just do the articulation of profiles, articulation of the book, the type of books we read, the quality of teachers that should go there, the minimum classroom, just like you have NUC for universities, where they prescribe the standard of the university, the land area. These are the kind of things the Ministry of Education should be doing. They shouldn't be managing schools directly because they lack the competence and the diversity to manage a school you call Unity.
Odimaka, I nekwaya na abia na akoko ima ụbọchị na-aga dịka gasị na ọnụọgụ ndị mmadụ na-agbawanye kwa ụbọchị. Anyị ma na anyị bịazi bụrọsọ na anyị nwe Unity schools, anyị nwe state schools, nwekwa anyị nwe schools dịcha na communities, bịazi nwewezie private schools ọka nkụ n'ụbọchị ndị a. Nwezie ndị ego ha dị elu, nwe ndị ego ha dị ana, nwe ndị nnukwu mmadụ na-eje, nwe ndị obele mmadụ na-eje. So ọ dịghị ka ihe a gbasagolo otu a ọ ka ga-eme ka ebumnobi eji wube Unity School bụrụ ihe ka na-aga n'iru.
Yeah, No, yes, I quite agree that we can actually get it right. Personally, all hope is not lost. It's just to change, re-strategize. Just like we always tell people, you don't keep doing same thing, same way, all the time. We call it insanity.
Expecting different results.
No, you don't expect different results. It's the same result. So at that point now, this federal character, right? Allocation, sharing, fairness. I will keep emphasizing on that word, fairness. Social inclusion. The essence of this is to promote social inclusion. There is no other thing. Integrating people, doing things together, learning together, understanding different ideologies, perspective, belief system, culture at the same time. That's just it. You don't need to rule that out because it will definitely pay one day. So there should be a review of strategy. That's why I'm saying you can't keep doing same thing, same way, expecting different results. It's never done. And the idea of unity school should be consolidated. The strategy should be reviewed, right? So places like Imo, Enugu, Ebonyi, where saw just one. Such places, more allocation, just like the way federal government is when new political wards, new polling units, have been review, right? When new polling units from voting point to polling unit. See, may you turn so that achieve fairness and ekumakia. Pass here, 100 marks or percent or benchmark. Only way an agombe, you admission. Only way an boy. Young admission. I believe is definitely paying the less privileged because the essence is also to carry everybody along.
Oh, the my only him when na juga Imbia site na go private schools. Mwe mandi no mandi na mana mgbe Unity School manitelo ogembo na mandi uku mandenta na ejenya bụ Unity Schools. Mana kita odize ka ga-asị na ọsọsọ ndị onwere ka ọra na-eje Unity Schools. Ọtụtụ oge enwego report mfolo na national television. Ewepụtalo one Unity School dị na side Abuja. Ọbụna zinc ya niile na-eri. So onya ka nji jụọ ajụjụ ọ dị ka ebumnobi eji wee wube ya bụ Unity School ka bụ ihe imago na-aga n'iru.
But the school and the budget of Ministry of Education, they are voting up to 45% for Unity School. Then, that is why we should review the strategy. The Ministry of Education should be held accountable. Why are those schools dilapidating? The quality of teachers. What kind of teachers are we recruiting? These are the things that should be reviewed. In as much as they were private schools, those people are doing it for their personal gain, not for common good. Who really may establish a school today? Significantly, may school now, okay, we really charity. No, that person is for his or her personal pocket. Okay, that's why they look at gains. But this Unity School is for common good. That is why Ministry of Education should be held accountable. Beyond, that's why we need to total restructure their strategy, review their strategy. Who does the maintenance aspect of it? Why should we allow? It's not just about education, even in health system. That's why we've been clamoring for rehabilitation, basic healthcare provision fund. Then that's the same thing we should be following up. I think this time for citizens to all hands must be on deck for us to follow up on Ministry of Education.
Odima Chris bikoka ibatakene makana ihe Ugochi na-ekwu bụ ihe ekwesịrị ime mana anyị mana o nwere report anyị follow melo na 2018 ebe eje meeting for the Unity Schools. Awe no ofu onye okwere edi otu osiri okwe Ugochi echi ofu onye okwere edi wee bi na-ewe na-ekwu na ihe na-emenu awe si anya walk out from the meeting. Amara me for that report. Maka Ugochi na he wete so ima ọ na-abụ oge ọbụla na-ekwu na abịa na be anya na-enweche ekwucha okwu malụ mma no emezie eme mana onye anọkwa na-ekwu ebe eji meeting a ga-ege ntị ka amalụ kedu ihe na-eme wee tinye anya na mmiri malụ ma ọ bụ eziokwu ma ọ bụ asị ngwanya si na meeting pụọ kedu ka o si wee dị gị ka odi ha nwa melo na 2018 o mecha onya enwe ihe melu gbasali ya melo onodu ka ji wee di otu odi ma obu na o kara njọ kita.
Yes, obu na that report agụkọ ọnụ ya. That report obu na Egulia, if na by 2013 Olisaba Kobasan.
Yes, Agum,
to the Minister for Education
to court
in Lagos, George Oliabo Tosho, and upon that verdict that the quota system, the court held that the quota system of prescribing different entry requirements for different states for the same exam and for the same type of college is null and void and illegal because it contradicts Section 42 of the State Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is the law there. So that if any 9A has been overtaken by law, it's just that these our laws are obeyed in breaches. Odika so and even if most time on the north if this Minister for Education and they use it for their utmost advantage. My total view unity education. Obvious minister, other Minister of State. I think she was actually Minister of State
for Education.
Yes, assignment this to revitalize these unity schools. She formed a committee. If I never say I now privatize these schools. We find out first refusal and law. You can give a state, Anambra State, first refusal to buy off Nise, Federal Government College Nise, getting on it. Also in Anambra going raw, every other person, or the local government will be the second refusal. These are the kind of atmosphere. Because the Indian economics and business administration, a bigger body, where a bigger burden in managing smaller units of events. Of the Ararona, federal government is managing a common secondary school. Because the protocol, like I know, before only level 9 and send more effort to a director, or got chain of events. Suppose now more of level 10 officer, even what to do in the ministry. Even get the minister got within them. Even if you want to have a very reasonable opinion on the matter, even if I have a PhD, a curriculum development or anything. So I make unity schools I did go overtaking because anyway, private schools that connect all our children. Our children means Nde Papa Diego. So unity comes there because even Ejiko Nigerians they got for the club of millionaires. Even Ejiko for family. So they are mixing. Or the dream is David or Onye Yubuko. But he stays in Igbo land here and is comfortable because his money talks the talk. So Obu Naricho unity, unity. Best of the feathers. Let them fly together.
Odimaka, I want to go to the Meba, I will tell no obelozi. Obona kita ke manitelo Istonyelani. I na nisioku basalo Nigeria's unity schools addressing regional disparities in education. Yabo nke wadi n'etiti inye ụmụ akwụkwọ admission bịa gụọ akwụkwọ na mpaghara dị ebe a maọbụ nke ọzọ dịka o si gbatakwụlụ ka anyị gbatu obele dim anyị na-anaghachi biko apụkwana.
Years in the past years there had been a unfairness. There was no any equity as regard to the admission, in the sense that some states, like northern states, they are being favored. They are saying that they are using disadvantage of the state because of the low education background in that region to compare with our in the south where the students will perform marvelously but they will be denying opportunity to gain admission into the unity schools because they are more advanced in education. So these have been a very big challenges in the society. There should be fairness and equity in terms of admission into unity school.
If you are corrupt, everything in you must be corrupt. And if you born a child, that child must be corrupt because that is what his father teach him. You see? So we are in trouble unless let Nigeria change or let Nigeria scatter.
So my advice to federal government is that they should have a standard, a policy that will give a fairness for admission. So this is my submission.
Just by his grace, the person will get the admission. Sometimes they remove their names. How much will it take? And there are some courses that you don't need to bribe, like doctors, nurses, engineer. You guys know. Let me just put out engineer aside because it's a practical work. But like doctors, engineers, pharmacists that deals with human body. Some of them will graduate, they won't know anything. I get it. So it depends on government to take care of it. If they can be able to allow those people that merit on it to come in, I think it would have been better.
Results when you know that this person now got it, let the person go with it. You understand? So that is the only way to promote it. Merit exam. Make sure that the people that are going to conduct the exam will be people who are not biased. You understand? People that knows how to do it. You understand? Then write it, mark it. Well, whoever that got 100% as a stability, let the person go with it. You understand? People that fail, let them know that they fail and they try again. Thank you very much.
ndị mmadụ si tụnye otu nke ha n'isiokwu anyị na-enebanye anya ya bụ nkewa dị na inye ụmụ akwụkwọ anyị admission ka ha wee jebanye na unity school. Unity schools anyị na-ekwu bụ federal government colleges ọkwa ya. Ọ dị mma mụ na Chris Arokwe na Ugoche ha hụrụ ike ka nọkwa n'ime studio wee na-enebanye anya n'isiokwu a. Ugochi, kedu ihe ọ dị ka ga-ebido mebe ka a wee close the gap of this disparity ka afụ na ihe melo okeke ka emelo kafo
na mbụ si na state ndị nwere ofu nye ha ebua. It's very simple. Because I see, let me tell you, if you check the poverty rate of this country, you see that it's still high. And you check out the economic challenges, you see it's also high, mostly on the part of the vulnerable, the less privileged, those in the rural areas. And yes, then we go private schools, then we go schools for the billionaires, you know. Anyway, schools, no, in fact, here, that somebody's salary for the whole year against the that got unity school more opportunity. I'm still emphasizing and also talking based on those people. If we are really their voice, this is also time to advocate that there should be more allocation. Anyway, for instance, in Imo State now, this one our minimum of 1,000 intake. That 1,000. That means we go 20 students, 2,000 students want an opportunity to access that education at that level. That's also a relief system for the family and the society where they comes from. Now, if we get here in our society, this I don't really want to call it their actual guy name. Unity school na limited the number na school. na asị ka ha jepiwa ihe because whose school help, right? Whose certificate help. So ọ bụrụ na ụmụazị ahụ ma parents ha nwe ebe ha ga-aga ya gụọ ya ọ dị affordable, ama na ụmụ ahụ dị safe, ama na ha na right hands, ama na the teachers na-akụzi ha wụ quality teacher. Let me tell you, most private schools teacher ha dị ọkpọrọ qualified. Yes, I will tell you for free. Most of them ụmụazị go na school ha lene WAEC nwa ha dị ọfụma mama asị mgba kụziwe mathematics. Ọ kwala math teacher. To onye na-esi ya n'azụ nke nya. Ọ wụ nile n'anya English ọ na ma asụ Oyibo, isi ya kụziwe English. Echo wala English teacher. So here na some of those private schools. If you ask me, that's why even my own children, I try to enroll them in government school. Or go no government return to mission, but let it be government school. That's where you have these qualified teachers. Let's tell ourselves the truth. So, in Ministry of Education, I think we've not really done well. We, the CSOs, actors, we focus so much on climate change, talking about education, talking about gender, talking about election, neglecting education or educational sector. Assuming now a campaign placards one day, where no full school, this so dilapidated. I know contractor Gian Gabia put to back. So let's make allocations equal. I've talked about fairness. If only the short, no, you're going to tell it is shame here the fair. It's showing me fairness, promoting fairness. So, all in your only short, 3 stools. Konya we came here name na mbage benin. Iyonye dezi we gonna go 1 stool. Kahana be not at the same level now the same thing. That's just the solution. See me according equal. If I want enough in the north and enough enough students to acquire education in a conducive manner, let's decentralize. Let's have fair sharing. The moment with the fair sharing, we will achieve this, because I believe there are still people that are benefiting and thanking God that their children went to unity school.
Ọ dị mma ka itonye ọnụ nke gị kedu ka ga-esi wee kwa onye ukwu wala ka o wee dị mma.
Mụnwa bụ imogona ekwugokwa m kem. Nke m ga-ekwuzi kịta bụ emphasis ka nna achọzi ime. Apụta asị ka eve mmadụ na-abụ akwụ onye nke asị na nke nkwu before mpụ na nke nna achị ikwu. Nke nna achị ikwu bụ na enwere ife anyị na-eji imezi ga-work. A lot of things do not work in Nigeria. This idea of federal government running unity schools is not a good idea. Because every institution the federal government is running, check the hotels, where Hamway, Sheraton, World Transcorp and all that, it was all privatized. Elumelu Fernando to Fafra go these hotels. And these hotels are doing greatly. So what I'm saying is that let us remove sentiment. Onweromwe, our culture, our ethnicity, dabble within the north. Onweromwe, our steps, our strength, that compare with the northerners.
Why?
That's what I'm trying to put it. The catching up is just like anyone catching up with America. The gap, the chasm, the gap which you call in and outside, including the Western people, is terrible. Numerically, it's terrible. The statistics is gulping. And the poverty rate in the north, so a state like Sokoto, 81% of the population is poor. It's poor. So how do you now begin to talk about it? Because education is wealth. Because it is this education that will enable you climb the next ladder of life. Without education, why will I be here? Who is my father? Most of us will not be here. And we cannot have village now what's our village? So this education has placed us where we now and much higher. Let us scrap the idea of unity schools. Privatize them so that it goes to the hands of the people who have the materials, the wealth and knowledge to run them.
To run it
efficiently.
Odima emana asina uchonya adinjo onye obula ga-ekwu ihe dị ya n'obi mana n'ime ihe niile ọka oge si wee dị mma ka anyị na-achọ anyị na-ekene unu n'ụzọ pụrụ iche ịbịa sonyela anyị n'ụtụtụ a Ugochi Ihuahirike. Ugochi bụ the Executive Director Social and Integral Development Center SIDEC. Daalụ maka oge gị.
Daalụ nonye kwa ndo ọma gere anyị ntị biko no ka anyị tinye n'aka gbaa mbọ ka ihe adị mma ọ dịrị anyị mma tosita adị mma ọ dịwa agbụ
ọ dị mma anyị na-ekenekwazi Barrister Chris Arukwe daalụ nne maka oge gị. Ọ dị mma n'ebe a ka anyị na-adọbiri na ihe mmemme Good Morning Anambra nke taa wee na-asị gị na anụ gbana taa echi bụ nta ka ọ dị.